Hi guys, my name is Ffion Davies. I'm here at Progress HQ and we'll be doing my 2022 year in review.
And Ffion Davies becomes the first ever British-born Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt world champion.
First match here is at the London Grand Slam at the start of the year. This is against VIOLETA. She has a judo background, so I'm coming up on a stand-up exchange. I didn't know she had a judo background until she started trying to hip toss me, and I was like, ah, this is very familiar. Yeah, this year didn't start very well for me, so this is the first match fighting back for bronze. I won my first match, lost my second, and then now I'm in the repechage here. Very uncharacteristically in close guard, and I'm gonna get an armbar. Very rare, and my one and only armbar from close guard, I think, in competition. This is the fight for the bronze then, against VITORIA. I fought her a few times actually. I fought her at Gi Worlds this year and I fought her in a super fight on Raw. That was no gi. So this is my first match I ever fought against her. She's GF team, so I was like, I know she's gonna be good. I get a guard pass really quick there, which is surprising. I really like when I'm on the back doing this sprawl out. It's like one of my favorite things to do on the back because it's very demoralizing for your partner. It's very hard to get back up onto your knees from that position. But the only thing it does is really minimizes the availability for chokes because they can literally lay there and just cover, which is fair enough. Of course that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna try and avoid getting choked. So as much as I love it for control, not the best for submission. Oh yeah, this is my one of my favorite chokes to do off the back. It's kind of like a modified bow and arrow. Loop that arm around the neck. I really like doing that one. Oh no! I did the reverse triangle. So I started with the choke, and then it was too high up on the back, and then I switched the reverse triangle. Is it reverse triangle or inverted triangle? I don't remember. Oh wait, no, this is the fight. How many fights did I have for bronze? Larissa's is really good. I fought with her before. This is very back and forth. Yeah, trying to get the back is so difficult on girls. And guys, but mainly girls, because they're so good at curling up and staying tight in a different way. They tend to use their upper body and their hips more. And when you mainly train with guys, I find that they'll use their upper body a lot more, and then you sort of adapt to that style. So then when I go to fight women, they're not using the upper body as much, they're using their hips, so it can be a little bit trippy. Yeah, so I was really happy with this win because she's very tough. And I love fighting back for bronze. It's one of my favorite things. I prefer gold, but you know, at least you end on a high. We didn't know what was happening, so it was me, Giancarlo, and Tractor in a team. Not a team, but I don't even know who we were representing, some sort of brand. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of it. They're gonna hate me. It was very confusing. Sometimes they just have these performers, and different performers each time. So our team got called on, but then there's this performance happening on the stage, and you were meant to walk along the stage. And I was very, very confused because I was like, well, there's people on there. So we started walking behind them. So Giancarlo led the way. He was walking behind them, and there's this guy rapping, and then a strip of exotic dancers were performing, and they were twerking in thongs, and doing the splits and doing all sorts of moves. And I was very impressed. But I was like, but I can't get past you. Giancarlo was smart and just scuttled around them really quickly. I don't even know how, because he's quite a large man, so he just got around and he got to the side of the stage. So then it was just me and Tractor was yelling, I have a wife, I have a wife. Which I started pissing myself. Because he was like, I have a wife. And then he managed to get around. And then I was just trapped behind this exotic dancer. And she was in the split. So I was like, oh, very good. Well done. And then I managed to eventually get around, but I was there for a good 30 seconds trapped. World's final. Woo! Okay, so I'm fighting Janena. And this is in the final of Gi Worlds. Best moment of my life. I'm in a lapel guard and I fudging hate lapel guard. Now I'm in a knee bar. Fantastic. It's definitely tight. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, am I all right? But no, the angle was just off, luckily for me. And in the moment, I didn't feel it. And I was like, I break my leg. I don't care. It's Gi Worlds final. Oh, the lads. Little clip for the Irish lads. Yeah, now I cry on the mat. And what's really funny about this match, did they show the hand raise? This ref hates me. I don't know if he's friends with her. He nearly dislocates my shoulder and he looks disgusted. Look at it, he looks at me. Why do you hate me? I want to find this ref and be like, what did I do to you? Did I skin your cat? Look. I was running around with like, from the side I looked like an alpaca or a llama or a cow. I just think, you know, there's so many good people in the UK, and you know, it's very cool to be the first, but not the only, I'm sure. Like, I think it is that thing of sometimes you just need to see someone else do it to be like, that's achievable. And I didn't have that, but I just kind of knew I could do it. And I think for me, it was so important for me to win that above anything else, any other tournament, because it was one of those ones that I knew I could do it, but I just didn't know if it would happen, because there's so many people, I've said this so many times, but there's so many people who you'd think had won GI Worlds but haven't, who are amazing athletes, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. And there's so many factors that play into it. You can even not necessarily be the best person, but win on the day, and you just have that magic run, and that actually happened for me. And I do think I was the best person on the day, but you know, there's everyone's amazing. It's really interchangeable who could be champion, in my opinion. It's the most important one for me. It's not the one that a lot of people maybe, you know, because with ADCC being so huge now, and having that definitely like would shift your career forward more than GI Worlds, because of the popularization of no-gi. But as a personal win, I think GI Worlds is harder. So as a person, like it's nice that it was also very personal. Like it's the most important one for me, and then I got it. So yay. Wait, can I go back? Go back 10 seconds. Did I miss the handshake? Oh, we missed the handshake. That's embarrassing. So she had a really nice guard. I was in a closed guard, and I did feel a bit like, ooh, geez, she's good from here. Passing is like way more freestyle. Dream, like you can be more, you just kind of feel of where they're going, and you can problem solve it a lot easier for me than when you're playing guard. Like guard, I feel like you're imposing on them, whereas guard passing is like you're problem solving their guard, which I really enjoy. When I got the choke off the back, which is really funny because in this camp, whenever I'd get to the back, which was very rare in this camp, I asked JT one day, like, I can't finish a rear naked choke. And he was like, what? Like, obviously, he's like, you're a black belt, I'm confused. And I was showing him, and he was like, he gave me a few little tips, but he was like, you're not doing anything wrong. And what was happening was I'd get onto the backs of some of the guys, and I'd be trying to put them in a rear naked choke. And obviously, my camp, there was on a Tuesday, we'd have a few girls come in, and that was amazing. But like the rest of the camp, it was me with a bunch of big ass men. So I got a few tips, and then I was getting my squeeze better during, I was like really working my squeeze. But then I fought a girl, and she was my size, and I was like, oh no, it does work. Oh, I look quite scared. I am scared. What do I do my slaps? Oh yeah, I love little slaps, few slaps. You know what that's from? That's from watching Tommy Langacker, actually. I love like emulating other people who I admire to sort of pretend I'm someone else when I'm fighting. I did my little hip toss, yay! Okay, I'm proud of that, because the reason this is so funny is because I kept doing that hip toss for like the last 2 or 3 weeks of the camp. And I hadn't done it for years because I sort of essentially was like, oh, I can't do that anymore because it's really risky. And I hadn't done that like behind, around the head grip or like over the lat grip for such a long time. But I do think if you've done something for 10 years and you're confident and you know the risk, it's fine, right? If you're aware of the risk and you're willing to take the risk, the payoff could be good. So that's why I'm really happy with that throw. But yeah, it was really nice to fight her again, because the last time I submitted her, but you know, it was very much like, was this a fluke? And then it was a good moment for me because, you know, dominance by points rather than just a submission. I'd love to have submitted her as well, but yeah, like getting that positional dominance, feeling in control the whole match. Oh, look at JD, he's so joyous. And then I won, and then immediately I was humbled by my shorts. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, I remember going into this match feeling really calm and good, which is very rare for me. I got a takedown for no reason. There was no reason to get a takedown. But I was like, I remember the last time I fought in the final, the thing that I felt wasn't the reason I lost. I got sweat. There's no point, see. On the Matrix entry. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by myself. I was on about, I got a takedown at the start, which is like for no reason because there's no points for the first 10 minutes. But the last time I fought in the final, I was very much like thinking about, okay, the first 10, there's no points, da, da, da. So I was like being really conservative. And then I was in a leg lock exchange and got leg locked. There's the other thing of my mindset kind of annoyed me in that match. It would have been different if I was like going hell for leather and I got caught in a leg lock. But it's because I was very like, okay, I'll play here and then eventually I'll come up and try and pass. Whereas in this match, I was like, I don't care, there's no point. I'm gonna fight like there is. It's gonna be aggressive from the start and overwhelm and then wear down slowly. Just be in the mindset that I'm gonna be dominant throughout, and whatever it gets thrown at me, that I'm just constantly at a certain pace so that she has to match my pace rather than allowing her to set the pace. I always fight my best when I'm aggressive, and when I try to play the rules or anything too much, that's when I start to, I'm just not a, I'm not an intelligent fighter. You have to be strategic to a point, but that's my corner's job. That's not my job. I'm the brawn. They're the brains, I'm the brawn. So I listen to what's going on, I keep my ear out, and I just sort of, like a video game, they're in the control, and I just, oh yeah, react to what I'm saying. This was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. You know what, in my head, I think it was, who was it, Cade or Ty who did the scissor takedown? I was like, I'm Cade! And then I just jumped and I was like, wee! But I felt really loose in this match. Like, I felt like more loose in my jiu-jitsu, where sometimes I could be like really like tight. And I just fight better like that, so being aggressive, and I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever done. But I'll never be that cool again. So I'm gonna be moving to the US. I'm moving to New York, I'm gonna be training at Essential. And then I don't know when, I don't think I'll be living in the US forever. I just love the UK. I love the humor, I just love the people. I like the US too, but you know, it's very much a career move. As opposed to just like, I want to live in the US for the sake of it. And then, you know, I'm be able to get to different shows and competitions a lot easier than constantly moving from Europe, or the UK, I guess it's not Europe anymore, is it? That's sad. And then, yeah, I'm back actually not that long after, in March for Polaris, the first women's Grand Prix event for £20,000. So that's really cool. See, if you yell, eventually people have to do stuff.